This sounds like my kind of place, Tess. So what happens when a retired truck driver and a singer open a hamburger joint?
Well, I think this is some kind of joke, but we know you would get a whole lot of personality with your meal and some hearty comfort foods too. So Jamie taking us to Old School Grub, which is at Superstition Spring Center Mall in Jamie's local love.
Good morning, guys. You are going to want to bring your appetite when you come here to Old School Grub. They have all your favorites, plus they have a lot of nostalgia for you as well. When you walk through here, hey, there's Spider-Man. I mean, you are just going back in time. They have so many things to look at, so many things that are collectibles right out of Frank's childhood bedroom. So I want to introduce you to Frank and Carlotta. They are the owners here of Old School Grub. Carlotta, let's start with you. When this room came to be, what were you thinking?
Well, Frank said it was for all, for all the little boys and little girls, and I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of feeling like it's for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're hoping that it actually touches on a nerve. It takes people back when it was a, more joyous time, and their childhood, bring back their childhood memories and stuff. So it's a lot of fun.
It really does. And some of these things are out of your personal collection.
Yeah.
You held on to them.
Yeah, I did. I got a couple of my figures up there, like the Robin up on the wall, and just a lot of these old stuff that I've had since I was a little kid. And I figured, let me showcase them, And we let the kids play with them, so they're in here, and they let the parents eat, and people enjoy them.
And you guys started with a food truck with a really good burger. I guess you were standing in line for a mediocre burger one day. And you said, we can do that better. You said a frozen burger?
It was a frozen burger we waited an hour and 15 minutes, and it was cold. The bread was ice cold, everything, and we sat down, we go, you know what, we can do better than this. So we came up with the truck, and what do we do? What kind of food do we do? Well, let's do stuff that people don't, sloppy joes, fried bologna, all the old classics, Kool-Aid.
And butter and jelly.
Yeah, peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
I mean, I love a PB&J.
Yeah.
So you're a trucker by trade. Carlotta is a singer.
Yeah.
They have karaoke here as well. So they have live music, they have karaoke, they have games from the 70s, 80s that you can play. But it all kind of hangs on the burger. So let's take a look at this really big burger, Frank. What did you do with this burger? Which one is this?
That is the Pittsburgher, correct, Car?
Yeah.
That's the Pittsburgher, which it has pastrami, bacon, double cheese, double bacon, double pastrami. All our pickles are handmade. We use steak fries, and we have our own baker that does, what's the name of the baker?
Bread.
Tree Joe's, that comes and does our own bread, which is really, really good bread. So.
I loved Sloppy Joe's as a little girl when Mama made it. It was a big deal. So is this one of the favorites, fan favorites?
Absolutely. That and the fried bologna, for sure. Very popular.
You guys made it through a pandemic. You had just opened your doors early March of 2020. You hung in there. What was the biggest challenge?
Just getting through, just day by day and stuff. And, we just wanted to bring something to just stay positive and just knowing that we have a good, product out there. And we're just trying to, let people relax and have a good, feel.
Okay, so we are in, the Superman, the comic book room, but they have so many more collectibles and nostalgia in here. I'm always a fan of an antique phone. I mean, I ended up in communications. An antique phone I love from the Andy Griffith Show. The Andy Griffith Show. Plus, there's a picture of this guy in town. He's a pilot. He's a news anchor. He's mildly good looking. We're going to take a look at this photo coming up in the next hour.
Oh, wait a minute.
What?
Who could that be?
How did that get there?
I didn't know Javi was a pilot too.
You're right. Yeah, she said mildly good looking, so we got to be talking about Javi.
If they said really good looking, then of course it would have been you.
No, I'm out of the conversation altogether.
Okay, first of all, everything about that place looked amazing.
You did.
And that
Yeah, it
burger.
does.
Woo.
Got to go try that, right?
Yes, absolutely. Looking forward to what Jamie's going to show us in our
me too.
next hour. Old School Grub, aiming to be a community catch-all, a place where the family can eat and play games, then later in the night, a place to watch a game or karaoke. Jamie taking us to Old School Grub inside the Superstition Springs Center Mall in Jamie's local love.
I love seeing pictures of my friends when I go to some of my local loves. Right here, Old School Grub, you'll see the famous Scott Passmore. In fact, they named a menu item after him. I want to introduce you to Frank and Carlotta. What is Passmore holding right there? What is that?
He is holding the
Crazy
Scott
Oh.
with no crust.
No crust. He does like those Uncrustables.
Yes, he does.
And you have this picture wall that kind of tells the story about how this restaurant, Old School Grub, came to be. You were a trucker by trade. Then you moved into a food truck.
And I moved into a food truck because of bad food. And that's
You weren't going to eat that anymore, so you wanted to serve something better.
Yeah, that was it. So we started designing the old classic stuff that we grew up as kids. So the atmosphere we want to bring here is that we can take you back to your childhood. When your parents used to cook meals and put them on the table, that's what we want to give you.
Okay, let's turn around and take a walk back to some of the food that we have here, because you really do walk through your childhood when you walk through here. First, I love the daily specials. Wednesday, I'm just going to take note of that. And look at the things you'll see in here. There's just so many things to look at. You have things hanging from the ceilings. You have games. Oh, is that Hungry Hungry Hippos? Oh my goodness, I played a lot of Hungry Hungry Hippos back in my day. And that's really the point, because Carlotta, you said, you know, in restaurants, usually people sit down, they order their food, and then they start looking at their phone. You don't want that here.
Now, we want people just to enjoy the time with their family. You know, you don't get much time with your family, and so this will take you back to your childhood. You can share that with your kids, and so.
And I found something out of my childhood right away. Was a little gumball machine.
Yep, those are for her. Those are for you to take with you. You know, I remember you said you used to have those and you can't find them, so this is where they ended up. So now they go back with you.
We'll take them back to the station. The folks will appreciate that for sure. I'm a phone freak. I've always loved phones, going to antique stores with my dad as a little girl. You found an OG. You talk about old school grub. You have an old school phone. Tell me about this phone.
One of the persons that worked on the props for the Andy Griffith Show said this was the phone that they used. So he said, this is the perfect place for your phone. And it's the original phone. There's the paperwork and everything on it.
So when we see Andy taking calls.
Yeah, this is the one that he used on here. So we've had it on here. A lot of people bring and donate stuff. We ask them they can take it back if they like. They don't want to. They want to keep it here.
You know, you work up an appetite going down memory lane. So Carlotta, what do we have here? Because you like all the old school stuff here. I see mashed potatoes and gravy. What's that?
Yeah, so that's an open face grub. So it's homemade. It's roast beef, fresh cut, and then we have, of course, a chef salad. We have a sloppy joe with tater tots, and we have a ham steak.
Ham steak.
How big is that ham?
I don't know. Emilio goes crazy sometimes.
Yeah,
We'll have to
our
get
chef
him out
goes
here and
crazy.
have him explain his meals.
I already had to try, of course, those delicious onion rings. I knew I would not be able to focus until I had one. It is so good. And then what is that sandwich?
That's a fried chicken sandwich.
Oh my gosh, it's huge.
It is huge. Yep. They bred them here, so.
And then kind of the baby of the beast here is that big hamburger, because that's what you wanted to serve. Never frozen patty, fresh, locally baked bread. Are you eating one of these today? How are you doing?
I try not to eat my own food. I got to shop a lot for more clothes, so I keep telling her that she washing my clothes in hot water.
I know,
And she
Carlotta.
said, I told her, why are you washing my clothes? She goes, no, you're just getting a little heavier. So, but every now and then, yeah,
occasionally,
a little bit of that.
and a little bit
It
of
works
a
out.
bite of burger occasionally too. Plus, it's Wednesday after all, and on Wednesday the daily special is pie. So what do you have right here?
We have fresh pie, all kinds of fruit pies, and we have we normally have at least about 7 to 8 different varieties of pies and cakes as well.
Plus they have live music. Plus they have karaoke. Plus they have, get this, Kool-Aid. So we are going back in time right here at Old School Grub. Delicious stuff. Scotty, they're waiting for you. So come on by.
I got to
Okay.
get down there. That place looks
know.
amazing.
Everything looks so yummy.
Yeah, and they're such nice people. They message me all the time, so we got to get by there.
Yes, all right, it's a lunch date. GMA's lunch date.
Ian's buying.
You got it.
All right.
My dad lives out there, so I'll take a trip and
Yes, let's go.
meet the good doctor.